No one really believes that life begins at conception. I mean, it's not a belief, it's reality. The first stage of an individual human organism's life cycle is the zygote. Okay, whatever. No one really believes that morally valuable people begin at conception. You don't think so, huh? Well, think about it. We know miscarriages happen all the time, right? A lot of people don't realize that, but yes, you're right. Miscarriage is very frequent. How come no one invites me to funerals? What? I have never been invited to a funeral for a miscarriage. What do you think that means? No one has funerals for miscarriages because miscarried embryos are not like full human beings. And that's why we don't mourn them the way we mourn real babies. I'm just going to stop you right there. I've had 2 miscarriages. I viewed those embryos as my children who were alive and are now dead. I grieved them very deeply. I still grieve them now. And I didn't have funerals for either one of them. Do you know why? No, I don't. Well, the first one was a lost twin, which means that my body literally reabsorbed the remains as my surviving twin, my son, continued to grow. Oh, yeah. And that was particularly difficult because I was craving a way to memorialize and to grieve. And I'm an atheist, so I'm not going to pray. I can't have a funeral. There's no remains. And even if there were remains, I'd be inviting people to share in my grief who never even got to realize the child's existence. It was very confusing. It was very painful. I tried to make a memorial box. What am I going to put in it? I have one blurry ultrasound picture and nothing else. It was extremely difficult. The fact that you're using the fact that it was difficult as evidence that I didn't really care is most generous interpretation, extremely ignorant. And I can think of quite a few less generous interpretations. For my second loss, I tried to get the remains released to us so that we could cremate them and keep them with us, something very important to my husband and I for processing our grief. We did ultimately get it done, but it was very difficult and bureaucratic because they don't normally do that. And in the course of it, I talked to lots of other lost parents who wish they could have done that and weren't able to. The reality is that miscarriage is very common, and the grief is very real. There are good pro-choice arguments, but minimizing miscarriage isn't one of them.